Today is a very important day. I know you're wondering, SocialNut, what is very important about today? It is the start of the Sony PlayStation Blackout. Basically, millions, supposedly, gamers are going to, black out. They're gonna unplug their PlayStations and give a big fuck you to Sony. Which, in theory, would be nice if, you didn't give an end date. I understand the whole PlayStation Blackout movement, and I really wish it would work, because I love physical media. I love physical media to death. I genuinely, I have a fucking huge ass collection of discs. I love that shit to death. Every time a new game releases, I try to get it on disc. And I only, get, some games on digital. Specifically, indie games, I like to get on digital. Because most of the time, they're not going to get a physical release. So, But, last month, or was it 2 months ago? Yeah, it was 2 months ago. Sony basically said, fuck you to every gamer. And, said, we're no longer going to be producing discs. Which, sucks because, I like discs. But it's Sony. I mean, Sony doesn't really give a fuck about the gamer. They only really care about one thing, and it's called money. And Sony doesn't really care about gamers. They just want that little bit of money because PlayStation is literally the only thing in Sony's catalog that is keeping them alive. There's your fun fact of the day. If I remember correctly, PlayStation is one of the very few things that are keeping that company alive. Which, it's kind of like how Minecraft was keeping Xbox alive for so many fucking years. Because, via also Sherman and, the whole shit with the Xbox reset, we now know that Microsoft, Xbox was being fucking taken care of, was on the back of Minecraft. The goats they are. Steve from Minecraft was single-handedly, just giving CPR to that dying fucking console, which, I'm gonna be straight with you. If Xbox comes back next generation and drops a console and it has a disc drive and they're really gamer friendly, I'm switching. I mean, I don't give a fuck. I go with the platform that I almost did a fucking Wabbit thing, but treats me better. I go with the platform that treats me better and treats me like a consumer that spends money on their shit. I'm also saying this because I like Xbox backwards compatibility. But getting back to it, the PlayStation Blackout is starting today. And I'm going to be straight. I'm going to give my prediction. I don't think it's going to do shit. Which is really sad because I really wish it would do something. But the fact of the matter is that it's not going to do anything. You gave them a fucking time when it ends. They literally would just wait it the fuck out. They don't care. This is $1 billion company. The way to make Sony fucking scramble in their fucking boots is you do what you did with Xbox One. Now, if you are unfamiliar with that story, let me explain it to you right quick. In 2013, when the Xbox One was basically, I think it was either late 2012 or early 2013, but it was when Xbox One was being announced, and it was an always online console. And, that was really controversial because it was fucking 2013. This was when a lot of households didn't have the bandwidth nor the device connectivity to support an always online console. So, people couldn't do that. People couldn't, support that. It was always online console that had DRM on the games. And, you literally could not fucking, give your, friends games or anything like that. And you couldn't lend games, and it was always online. And if you, got booted offline, you couldn't use the fucking console. That was bad. And it led to the death of the Xbox One. Now, the Xbox One did still sell. But it didn't sell, compared to the 360, the Xbox One sold fucking nothing. Because it was a failure, basically. And it is something that still haunts Xbox to this day. Literally, the reason that Arthur Sherman is in fucking Xbox right now is possibly because of the aftermath of the Xbox One. Because Xbox has been in a fucking downward spiral for damn near 14 years because of that one event. So if you really want to make PlayStation suffer, that's what you do. You have history repeat itself. Because Sony back then made fun of Xbox, and that's one of the things that helped the PS4, get a good market. It's not like the main reason why the PS4 outsold the Xbox One, but it gave them a good eye in the consumer world. They literally made fun of Xbox for their always online DRM console by doing a little promotional video where they, handed one disc from one guy to another guy and said that's how easy it is to share on PS4. That was a good fucking marketing thing for Sony. And it's one thing that made them really like popular in the public eye for a little bit. It was also because the PS4 was a damn good console. But literally, if you want Sony to hurt for their decision, that's what you gotta do. You gotta repeat 2013 and you gotta make them suffer. But at the end of the day, all this shit's gonna be temporary. If Sony, by some grace of God, comes to their senses and, reverses this decision and says, oh, we're actually going to go back to, manufacturing physical discs for PlayStation consoles, 10 years down the line, they're going to try this shit again. The real problem here is that there's literally no fucking laws, at least in the United States, that protect consumers against any of this. Literally, there's no goddamn law that guarantees digital consumer rights that I know of. Literally, it's all licenses and anything like that. The only store platform that I know of that gives you consumer rights when you're buying digital products is fucking GOG. Not even Steam does that. Though, I'm going to be straight with you, I trust Steam a lot more than I trust PlayStation. So, yeah. But this whole PlayStation Blackout thing is not going to work. Which is really sad. And I also really don't like the hostility that be going on around it. Like, online, on Twitter, where motherfuckers are making fun of people doing it. Like, brother, if you want to go dick ride Sony, by all means. You can go, hop on Sony's dick like you're a white woman. But, at the end of the day, stop. They don't care about you. They will never care about you. They don't see you as this person that you think they see you as. They think of you as fucking dollar signs. So you going over here and defending the $1 billion company is kind of asinine, because the $1 billion company don't give a fuck about you. Literally. So, it's just dumb. It just really sucks to see, the fucking, way that the gaming industry is going. And it's been going down here for a while. I will always fucking say that Fortnite, and Fortnite is a game that I still play to this day, and I fucking love Fortnite. But Fortnite was really the start of the death of the video game industry because of battle passes and the way Fortnite monetized itself. That will forever be the biggest catalyst, Pandora's box, that ever happened in the gaming industry. Because Fortnite, with how decent Epic Games is, and Epic Games isn't an amazing company by any means, but they're not as bad as fucking Take-Two. Now, does that mean that Epic Games is good? No. Fuck, what's his name? The CEO of Epic Games, I forget his fucking name. Tim Sweeney. Yeah, he's a little bit of a, he's a little bit of a pussy. But, it's just, Fortnite opened Pandora's box, and we've been going downhill for damn near 10 years. It keeps getting worse, and it will probably get worse until you get to a point where the gaming industry cannot sustain itself anymore, and you have a mini market crash of 1983 just happening again, but, smaller, because we're not in a gaming industry that could, go in and have a crash of 1983 happen again, because when that shit happened, it was literally because the gaming industry is so fucking small. Atari was fucking small as fuck compared to gaming companies of today. Compared to gaming company today, Atari wasn't shit. So that's why that shit happened. So if any of you are hoping for another 1983 video game crash, that shit isn't happening. It's literally not happening, but you're probably going to see a bunch of these AAA game developers fucking close. Because with the way gaming is going, when you don't have consumer rights, when you don't have good games coming out, and when everything is priced to a point of unaffordability, it will end up getting to a point where the consumer can no longer support that or even afford it. And at that point, the industry dies. Because without the people buying the product, the money is not there. So, who knows what will happen in the next 10 years. Fuck, you could probably see fucking Ubisoft finally die. Not really. I think that I forget. No, it was EA that got put. Sorry for the mic boom. I think it was EA that got purchased by Saudi Arabia. I think Ubisoft is still Ubisoft, or maybe they got purchased by Saudi Arabia. Whoever got purchased by Saudi Arabia is probably not dying. But yeah, I hope Ubisoft dies. I'm still pissed about Watch Dogs. Y'all motherfuckers, y'all made Watch Dogs 1 phenomenal game. Watch Dogs 2 phenomenal game. Then you fucked it up with Legion, and then no, Watch Dogs number 3. No. Can't give us that. Fucking some of the best fucking movement and gameplay in Ubisoft's catalog, but you can't give us another game because you want to go make fucking Assassin's Creed, which I have no problem with. Resynced was pretty goddamn good. But you remember Skulls and whatever the fuck, the first quadruple A game? Yeah, I wonder how that shit happened. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm just going off a tangent here. But yeah, I just want to talk about the Blackout because, it means something to me because I am a PlayStation gamer. I own every fucking PlayStation console besides the PS1. That's because I just haven't bought a PS1 yet because I have a PS2, which can play PS1 games if I remember correctly. And also, I have Duck Station. But, yeah. I hope that Sony eventually does, come to their, open their eyes and see that they fucked up. But I'm not going to hold my breath. Because I'd probably fucking suffocate. But, yeah. Go to the Ko-Fi so we can get more videos out and this becomes profitable. And until next time, Sony, you suck. Goodbye.